I like the look of Circulari so far.
Thank
I
you.
imagine I only saw the game you just played. I'm guessing
Right.
because you're doing like a demo version. I'm guessing the games are a lot shorter than they would usually be.
Yes, well, I think there's a trade-off because the online games. My experience has been usually when you play a game on an online platform, it takes a bit longer as well. A normal
Yeah.
game of Circulari takes about an hour. So I
Okay.
suppose that does add up because the demo's been taking about 45 minutes, and we start at 4 points, which is about halfway through the total. So when you take off the 15 minutes it takes for me to explain the rules, then I guess that works out about right. So in fact, yeah, we're actually being remarkably efficient. In fact, then playing on digital platforms, I know I've played some games. I played Seven Wonders on Tabletop Simulator, and it took hours. Right, I'm going to press the start button now, and we should
Okay.
get into the room. Just it's hopefully loading. Ah, there it is.
I thought it was interesting that you mentioned that Sail to India was one of the inspirations.
Oh, have you
For this
played
game,
Sail to
'cause
India?
I haven't played it, but I was talking to someone about it just about 2 days ago, actually. So
Oh, right. Did they like it?
yeah, they were saying it was one of their favorite games. So
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's it's not one of those like mega successful games that has a 10 out of 10 rating on Board Game Geek or anything, but I do really like it. It is one of my favorite games too. I think, yeah, for what it does, which is quite a lot given the tiny little box and the relative few components.
yeah,
It's a really nice game, and well, I hope anyone who enjoys Sail to India will enjoy Circulari just as much.
yeah.
Right, so I'm going to go through the rules again quickly. If you watched the last game, you may find this a little dull. I don't know if you were here for the rules explanation when I started the last one, but I'll
I
just
think I got most of it, but I might need some clarification on a few things.
I'll just run through
yeah,
again for the benefit of anyone watching as well. But it shouldn't take too long. So this is Circulari, the game of tactics and resource management for 1 to 4 players, and we're about to start our very last demo here at the UK Games Expo. Virtual UK Games Expo. So, you, the players, take the role of the Circulari, the titular Circulari, that is to say, deep space miners, operating in the accretion disk of a black hole. And the objective of the game is to be the best Circulari you can be. And you'll be rated on your performance, because this is a board game, by scoring points. Talent points, in fact. And these are measured on a track at the top of your fleet board. So the first player to reach 7 or more points triggers the end of the game. And once that happens, everyone else gets one final turn to have a chance to pip you to the post and overtake you. But then the game ends. And the player with the highest score, the most talented Circulari, is the winner. So, how do you play? How do you score those talent points? Let's run through that. The game is played in turns. We take it in turns. And each turn consists of 2 distinct phases. So the first phase is called the action phase. And there are 4 different actions you can take in the action phase. I'll just run through them now, with the benefit of this red player board. So, the first action is called Deploy Robot. And when you play the Deploy Robot action, you pick up one of your robots off the empty storage robots space, and you drag it over here to the space station, increasing the size of your robotic mining fleet. At the beginning of the game, everyone has 4 mining robots, and when you deploy a robot, you can increase that to 5 and beyond. So that's the first action. The second action is the Move Robots action. So this is the most commonly played action in the game, and when you play it, you need to think about how many movement modules you have. So at the beginning of the game, everyone has 4 movement modules. So what that means is you could take a robot here from the space station and move it 1, 2, 3, 4 anti-clockwise, or you could move it from the space station 1, 2, 3, 4 clockwise, or you could pick up all 4 of your robots and go 1, 2, 3, 4 and drop them onto one of the adjacent asteroids, or any free combination of this kind of movement. So basically you could take a robot, whoops, didn't mean to pick that up. You can take a robot and you can go 1, 2 in that direction, and you can take some more robots and go 3, 4 in the other direction, and at that point you have expended all of your movement modules, so no more movement this action.
Okay.
You'll notice that the asteroids are divided into 3 distinct sections. There is a central yellow coloured section, that is the thruster robots, and these are involved in propelling your asteroids around the disk. And oops-a-daisy. The other 2 sections are the little cog symbols, are the extractor robots, and they're used for mining the metal out of your asteroids. And then there is the energy collector ones, the little thunderbolt symbols, and those are responsible for collecting energy. And when you move onto an asteroid, you can basically just pick any free space for your robot. It doesn't matter where you came from. The only special thing to take into account is that if you want to change what kind of robot you are on the same asteroid, that also counts as 1 movement module's worth of movement.
Right.
And that's the move robots action. So onward to the upgrade action. The upgrade action is different to the first 2 because it has a cost in resources. It costs 1 metal and 2 energy, so you need to spend those resources in order to play the upgrade action. When you upgrade, you can either pick to upgrade your movement modules, which I've explained, or your command channels, which I'll get to in a minute. With movement modules, when you upgrade them, as part of the upgrade action, you can also immediately move your robots. So if you upgrade from 4 to 5, you may then, as part of the upgrade action, also move your robots with 5 units of movement, 5 modules worth of movement. If you upgrade the same capability twice and get to the end of either or both of the upgrade tracks, you'll notice there's this little trophy symbol. That means there is a talent point waiting for you. So if you max out an upgrade track, you will score 1 talent point each time you do that. And that is the first of the 4 ways you can score talent points in the game. And finally, the 4th and final, but by no means least important action, is the export action. And this also costs resources. It will cost you 3 metal and 2 energy to export. Export your resources and send them back home to your home civilization to fuel the fires of industry, and you'll be justly rewarded with 2 talent points for your hard work and doing your very important job of being a deep space miner. So those are the 4 different actions you can take. On your turn, you may take any one of those actions provided you can afford it, and then afterwards, if you can afford it again, you can spend 2 energy to take a second action. And that could be the same action again. You can take the same action twice, or you could take 2 different actions. Once you've taken your 1 or 2 actions, the action phase is then concluded, and we move on to the command phase. So in the command phase, you now have to think about your command channels. At the beginning of the game, everyone has 1 command channel. So what does that mean? That means that you may at most move 1 of your asteroids. How do you move an asteroid? In order to move an asteroid, you need to have some robots on the central section there, the thruster robots. And we'll put some thruster robots on there by way of illustration. So, we have this asteroid here, 3 thrusters. That means that we could move it like so, or rather shift it 1, 2, or 3 spaces, counterclockwise, or whoops, messing up the rotation there, or you could equally move it 1 or 2 spaces in the clockwise direction. Now you can't move any further than 2 spaces because you cannot move an asteroid past the space station. But there is something special that happens when you get next to the space station, and we'll get into that in just a second. Now it's the number of thrusters that you have that controls how far you can move. So we had 3 thrusters, we could move up to 3 spaces if the space station wasn't in the way, but if we'd only had 1 thruster, we would have only been able to shift our asteroid once. So what are these special things you can do? Let's go back to the fleet board, quick reference area, and we'll take a quick look. Oh, it just said Wormyjim went offline.
Sorry.
Are you still there?
I accidentally pressed the back button on my mouse.
Are you back in?
It's loading.
Yes.
Yep,
Has entered
there
the
we
game. Great. So, yes, commands. So, what we've described so far is called shifting. Shifting your asteroids, and that's one of the ways that you can use your thrusters, but there are 2 other things you can do as well. There is extracting and there is deorbiting, and these commands take place when you get your asteroids into the correct position next to the space station. You extract metal and we deorbit to get talent points and energy. So let's look at how that works in practice. Whee. Right. So one of the things you may have noticed is that the asteroids in the game, the asteroid boards, are played in 2 different orientations. So we've got some asteroids, our waste rock asteroids here. It's the label that's facing the black hole. That's the active one. And we've got some asteroids that are metal ore asteroids that are rich in resources waiting to be mined. So what we want to do, and I'll just flip one around to illustrate, is we want to get our metal ore asteroids moving clockwise. And you'll notice the filled in arrow on all the metal ore, on the thruster section of the metal ore asteroids, always points in a clockwise direction. So you can move them in both directions, you can shift them in both directions, but generally speaking we're trying to get our metal ore to come clockwise to here, to the metal ore mining slot next to the space station. And I'll show you how that might work. Drag on some cubes for demo purposes. There we go. So we have 2 thrusters on this asteroid here, and I can use the first of those thrusters in order to shift my asteroid out of the way and round clockwise into the metal ore mining slot, like so. And then I can use my second thruster to execute the extract command. And when I execute the extract command, I then get the metal out of this asteroid. So what happens is that the player, the red player who's performed the command, gets 1 metal for doing that. And then each player who has a robot located on these metal extractor spaces also gets 1 metal. So in this case the red player would get 2 metal and the blue player would passively get 1 metal. So we would, let's illustrate, the red player 2 and the blue player 1. And, oh, got the zoom wrong. There we go. And then finally, we just need to pick up our asteroid and flip it around to the waste rock side to show that it's now been mined out. There's no more waste, there's no more metal there anymore. It's just a hollowed out shell waiting to be deorbited. And the arrow, the filled in arrow there, it now points in the opposite direction because we're trying to get our waste rock to come round to here, to the waste rock deorbiting station slot on the other side of the space station. And I'll show you how that works too. So we'll just flip one round for demo purposes and deploy some cubes again. Like so. So again, got 2 thrusters, so we could take the first thruster to shift our waste rock into position, like so. And then the second thruster to execute the deorbit command. So when we deorbit our asteroid, we throw it into the black hole, and a couple of important things happen. The first one is that the red player who has executed this command is going to be rewarded with the third way of earning talent points in the game. There is 1 talent point for deorbiting an asteroid, for helping to keep the disk clear of hazardous debris. So we'll score that. And secondly, as the asteroid falls in, it causes some energy to be radiated, and that energy will be picked up by any collector robots that are out in the asteroid belt, anywhere in the asteroid belt. So you can see that the red player has one collector robot here, and the blue player has one collector robot here, so each of them will get one energy. Like so. Or like so. So, it only remains then that as our asteroid falls into the black hole, that the robots leap off at the last possible moment and run back to the safety of the space station before they get crushed in the event horizon, because robots are very expensive, and we wouldn't want to accidentally throw them into a black hole. That would just be wasteful. So, we're going to bring in a new metal ore asteroid from higher orbits, and we'll just dispose of that piece to one side for later use in the outer disk slot. And that is essentially the core mechanics of the game. So I'll just do a quick recap of the essential points. So action phase first, 4 different actions you can take, optionally a second action for 2 energy. There are upgrading and exporting are the first 2 ways of earning talent points in the game. Then once you've finished your actions, we move on to the command phase. In the command phase, you can shift your asteroids in both directions, but generally speaking, metal ore wants to go clockwise round to here, where it gets turned into waste rock and produces metal. And then the waste rock wants to move counterclockwise round to here, where it gets deorbited, producing talent points and energy for anyone who has any collector robots, and is then replaced by a fresh metal ore asteroid from a higher orbit. So there's a sort of economy of asteroids going on there. And for the demo experience, we're going to start on 4 talent points, and we're playing until 7. When a player reaches 7 or more talent points, that triggers the end of the game, and everyone else has one more turn, one final opportunity to score some more talent points themselves, see if they can beat them. But once that final round has finished, then the game is over. With the excuse me, with the exception of the 4th and final method of earning talent points. There are some talent points awarded at the very end of the game for how many units of metal and energy you have left. So if you finish the game with no metal and no energy, then you will be awarded 1 talent point for being very efficient. And if you finish the game with between 1 and 5 units of metal and energy, then you will not be awarded a talent point because you are wasteful. But if you finish the game with 6 to 11 talent points, then you'll be awarded 6 to 11 units of resources, then you'll be awarded 1 talent point for leaving a surplus. And if you should happen to finish the game with even more, 12 or more units of resources, then you would get 2 talent points for leaving a really, really big surplus. And those are the rules. So, Wormyjim, do you have any questions before we get started?
I don't think so. I think I'm ready to start.
That's great. Let's just reset the game back to its good old starting condition. 2 energy for everyone. No metal. Robots back on the space station. And just the cards themselves have a starting order, which I'll just set up. It's according to numbers printed on the cards, on the asteroids. They go 1, what's that one? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there we go, X. Marvellous. So, would you like to take the first turn, or shall I?
I don't mind, I can do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so for my first action, I'm guessing maybe deploying a robot would be a good start. And I also have 2 energy, so yeah, I'm going to deploy a robot for my first action. And then I might spend 2 energy to take a second action.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll move robots. Can I can put them onto? Can I put them only on? Oh yeah, sorry. I have 4 movements now. So
Yes.
1, 2. 1, 2. So that's 4 movements, right?
That's right.
And then that's the end of my action phase. And then command phase, I can shift. All right, so
That's right.
I'd like to move this one.
That's good, yep. You got the hang of it.
2 spaces.
Excellent. Yes, so that concludes your turn. So it's now my turn, and I am blue. Right. Let's see. What shall I do? I'm going to move robots, I think. I might... 1, 2... 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3... Okay, I'm going to do something. Move robots 1, 2, 3... 4. And that concludes my action phase. So for my command phase, I'm going to shift once clockwise. No, anti-clockwise. And it's your turn.
Okay. I see what you did there. So you can sort of, because I've spent my turn in moving this asteroid, you can make the most of that by tagging along with one of your robots to take some of the metal when I get there.
Yes. Ooh, I've just got someone on Discord asking if they can watch. And I will send the link to do that.
Alright, I think I'm...
Whoops.
Can I move? Can I shift for... Oh no, that's a command. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move robots. 1, 2, 3. 1. 4. And then shift. So, can I only take one of the commands each turn?
So
I can't shift and extract.
You can shift and extract, providing you have enough thrusters. So if you've shifted twice, then you've already used all your thrusters. If you had a third thruster, you would be able to also extract on the same turn.
Okay. Alright, that makes sense.
Okay, so it's now my turn again. So you're on the cusp of doing that. Well, that seems like 1, 2... Yeah, okay, so I'm going to move robots, and I'm going to just jump on there. And then I'm going to extract. So that's going to yield, whoops, 1 for me for doing it, plus 2 for each of my cubes. Sorry, plus 1 for each of my cubes, so 3 in total. Oh, not your cubes.
I get
what
1.
Colour I am. And you get 1, yes, for having 1 there. Yes, actually, I just... oh no, I did move. Yes, that's great. That finishes my turn then. So it's your turn again.
Okay. I might yeah, I'm gonna deploy a robot, I think. And then I can still shift this, can't I?
Mm-hmm.
So I can shift that 2 spaces.
Yeah, because you've got 2 thrusters on it.
Okay.
Right. So I am... What have I got? I've got 3 metal and 2 energy. I could export, but maybe not just yet. I think what I want to do is I'm going to move robots. I'm going to move my robots 1, whoops, 2, oops, daisy, 3. I'm going to move this one 4, and then I'm going to shift this one 2, but I'm not going to deorbit it this turn. I'm just going to sit there. So it's now your turn.
Okay. I'm also going to move robots. 1, 2. 3. 4.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, I wanted to move it onto this one. So that's 4. And then I can shift this to...
Yep. Okay. So for my turn, I'm going to move robots. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, Daisy. And then with my remaining thruster in my command phase, I am going to deorbit this asteroid. So for that, I will get 1 talent point. Energy gets produced, so you will get 1, 2, 3 energy. And I will get 1, 2, 3 energy. So we both get 3 energy. So I take myself up to 4, and then employ an additional cube to represent that 5th unit of energy there.
Okay.
So finally, our robots fly off in the nick of time to the relative safety of the space station. And we bring in a new asteroid from a higher orbit. There we go. And it's now your turn.
Okay. Can I... So if I wanted to shift this onto here and deorbit, I would need... If I wanted to gather more energy, I'd need to put it here.
Place them on more energy collectors, yeah.
Okay, so that's 1 move, 2 move, 3 moves. I don't have to use the 4th move, right?
Nope.
Okay, so now I'm going to shift. And then with the remaining thruster, deorbit.
So you get 1 talent point, taking you to 5. And also energy is produced, so you're going to get 3 energy. No, 4 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to get 3 energy.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then...
Yeah, you want to pick up the cubes. There we go, and a fresh asteroid comes in from higher orbits. So it's my turn again now, and let's see. Got lots of energy. What about metal? I've got some metal, so I've got enough metal to export. If I wanted to, but let's just see. 1, 2, 3. I would need quite a few more thrusts, so I need to go 1, 2 to get that one in. Let's see. Yeah. Alternatively, I tell you what I could do. Let's try this as a strategy. I've not done this before. Move robots. I'm going to move robots 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to shift this one around like so. Whoops, daisy. Oh, that way around. One, 2, 3, and so on. And now it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to move robots, so 1, 2. 3, 4. Then I'm going to spend 2 energy to perform a second action. And... oh, maybe I should have done that first. Because now if I upgrade, would I then be able to move again? Because
yes, if you upgrade your movement modules, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. Upgrade that. I lose 1 metal and 2 energy. And then I can move again. 1, 2. 3. Is this what I want to do? Yeah, 3. I'm just going to leave it at that, I think. And then shift just the 1 space. Although, actually, I'll use those remaining 2 moves, actually. Put one of them there. Maybe I should have put this one on the resource, but it's done now. So then I'll use I'll shift 1 thruster to put this there. And the remaining thruster to extract. So this means do I get 1 just for extracting and then
yes,
another
you're going to
one?
get 2 metal.
Okay. So 2 metal. And then this flips around. I think that's it.
1, 2, 3. So I really just need one more cube, which I don't have. So I'm going to Yeah, I'm going to deploy a robot. And then for my... Actually, that's not going to work, is it? Nah, tell you what, I'll just do this. For my final move, I am going to deorbit this one. No, I won't deploy a robot. Instead, I will export. So I'm going to spend my 3 metal and my 2 energy to export. So that gives me 2 talent points, taking me to 7, which triggers the end of the game. And then for my command phase, I'm then going to shift this waste rock asteroid around 1, 2, and 3. Whoops, daisy. And then I'm going to deorbit it with my 3rd thruster. So when I deorbit, I'm going to get another talent point, taking me to 8. And some energy gets produced, so a red player gets 3 energy. And I don't get any energy. And then the cubes, the robots, they fly off to safety. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And then we bring in a fresh metal or asteroid. There we go. Right, so having exceeded 7, there is now 1 final turn for Wormyjim.
Okay. So I kind of want to exceed 7 talent points, right? You've got 8, so I need to exceed 8.
I have 8.
Alright. How many do I... So I get... If I'm between 6 and 12, I get 1 talent point for surplus.
Yes, if you're between 6 and 11, you get 1 talent point for surplus, yeah.
Okay. I can't do upgrade or export without bringing me below 6, can I? So
that's true, I suppose, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's possible for me to catch up. Maybe there is.
I mean, you would need to, let's see. What's your total score? I mean, you might be able to get to 7.
Yeah.
You've got 4, 6, 8 units. And you're going to need to spend 3 of them to upgrade, so you just need 1 more unit of resource to not fall below that 6. So if you moved your robots... but then if you're going to take 2 actions, you would need to spend 2 energy as well, so you would need 3 more units of resource. That's a bit more of a tall order. Yeah, so I was thinking if you got them onto that metal ore there, then you could pull off...
try and extract it and do an export.
But I suspect actually there's probably not much more you can do other than claim your 1 talent point for having a surplus.
True. Or I could instead upgrade.
Or you can upgrade, yeah.
Get the talent point for that. Although I might as well do my move first. Yeah, because I'll be below 5 total anyway, so I could do a second action without changing anything. Okay. I'm gonna move robots. One. This was here. 2, 3, 4. And then shift this. 2, 3. And And then I could upgrade. Spend 1 metal and 2 energy to upgrade my movement modules. So then I'll get a talent point. And that allows me to move again, right? I'm not sure.
When you upgrade, yes, you're right, it does.
I don't know if that allows me to actually do anything there. Because I would need to, I'd need to shift again. Oh wait, hold on. I did something wrong there, didn't I?
I think you've done it out of sequence, haven't you?
Yeah, I did.
Because all your actions finish before the command phase.
Yeah, so I couldn't. I upgraded too late. Okay, so I'll put those back. I can't remember what I was on. I think something like that. And since I used my shift, well, I guess that's the end of the turn, isn't it?
Yeah. So at the end of the game, then I've got 6 units of resource, so I get 1 bonus, and then you still have the bonus then, I guess, because you've got 4, 6, 8. So that takes you to 7.
Okay.
So, well done for making it to 7, and thank you very much for playing a demo.
Hi, thank you.
Do you have any questions about Circulari or anything else you'd like to comment on?
I don't really have any questions, to be honest. I mean, that's what I was going to comment on, is that it's kind of very intuitive how it works. It's very easy to pick up, which is very nice.
Oh, thank you.
I think the design of the board, it tells you everything, basically.
That is certainly the idea, yeah. I remember when I first started demoing it, I was worried that it would take too long to explain all the rules, but actually compared to a lot of games it's not that complicated, and now that I've developed my patter, I can get through a decent explanation fairly quickly.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for the demo. I'll be looking forward to seeing it on Kickstarter.
Yes, well, thank you again for playing, and of course, if you are interested in the Kickstarter, feel free to go to our website, ruinsky.com, and sign up for our email newsletter. And we don't send out emails very often, but there will definitely be one when the Kickstarter launches, so you can be notified of that and make sure you get in there. We're hoping to launch Kickstarter in May 2021. We're just in the final stages of kind of polishing and pre-production, marketing, and so on. Ready for that Kickstarter launch, and then hopefully we'll be able to get some real Circulari components like these into your hands. They're nice dual layer boards with indentations. Oops, can't hold it in front of the camera. With indentations to hold your cubes in place as you move them about the asteroid fields in deep space.
That will be very good. Looking forward to playing it.
Oh, thanks again. Right, well that concludes our demo, and it concludes the virtual UK Games Expo, as it's now 4 PM. And so I'll be signing off shortly, after just saying probably a few more words. Well, thank you to everyone who came to watch the streams or to play a demo. It's been a fascinating experience here at the virtual UK Games Expo, a bit different to usual going to a real convention, but I think everyone has tried their best to make a go of it, and we've had a good time. We've played a lot of demos, and I hope that all of you have had a good time too. Yeah, it's been fun. As I said before, if you're interested in Circulari, you can keep track of us in a number of different ways. You can go to our website at ruinsky.com and sign up to our email newsletter, and you'll get an email when anything important happens. Most importantly, of course, our projected launch on Kickstarter in May 2021. You'll have the chance to back Circulari yourself and get your hands on a real physical copy. But also you can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitch, on all sorts of places where occasionally content will appear relative to Circulari, and you will get the chance to keep an eye on how things are progressing, and maybe there'll be future chances to demo Circulari digitally and hopefully in person. as we head into 2021. There may be some board game conventions happening for real again, maybe Aircon in early 2021, and the UK Games Expo, of course, next year at the beginning of June 2021 will be hopefully taking place in the flesh back in Birmingham at the National Exhibition Centre, and if so, we'll certainly be there, perhaps with a live Kickstarter campaign for you to demo the game and take one final look before committing to back it. Yeah, I think I've covered everything there. I've had a great time. Sign up to the newsletter. Thanks to everyone. And goodbye for now. It's been an exhausting weekend. I'm sure for everyone who's been exhibiting, and probably for a lot of the players too. There's been a lot going on. Live streams and games to demo, tournaments, all sorts of stuff. So I think we can all now have a well-deserved rest. I'm going to have a well-deserved rest for a little while, but I'm sure within a few days I'll be back working on Circulari again. So keep an eye on those social media channels, on the email newsletter, on our website. There's even an RSS feed if you're old school. You can sign up to our RSS feed and you'll get notifications in your RSS reader when there are new blog posts. And if you missed it last night, there was a live stream of an interview between myself and On Tabletop, and I will post the link to that in the comments of the stream before I shut it down. Let's just find that. I'm sure I had a link to that somewhere. Let's see. Well, I thought I had a link to that. Let's have a quick look. It's on YouTube. And in fact, I played it on the stream a little bit earlier today. Here we go. Here's the link that you need. I'm just going to post that. I'm going to post that. Share. Share at the right time index. Share. Nope. I'm working here. I'm trying to manipulate the this YouTube player to get the right link, which has the interview starting at the right moment, but it's not cooperating with me. Not really. I think this one will do. Let's post this link. Right, so this should appear in your Twitch chats, in the Facebook chat, in the Google Live... No, not in the Google Live events chat, because that doesn't seem to work. But in all the others. I'll just post that there. And hopefully that will appear in your chats. I'll check afterwards. So yeah, last night at 9 PM I did an interview with On Tabletop Games. We had a chat about Ruined Sky Games and about Circulari. I hope that I did okay. And you might like to watch it to hear what I had to say and what the On Tabletop On Tabletop guys had to say as well. So as the UK Games Expo ends, there's still a lot of material, a lot of Twitch streams, and YouTube videos that were created during the expo that you can go back and watch if you feel so inclined. So feel free to go and check that out if you still have an appetite for more. But for myself, I'll be signing off. Thanks once again to everyone who dropped by to play demos and to watch, and hopefully we'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.